This video is going to be the very basics of losing weight. I'm going to hit 3 points. Okay, we're going to start with the first thing. So we're going to start with the first thing, and that's women, if you're training, if you're strength training or with weights or doing stuff, you're not going to look like a dude. That all has to do with your hormones. And we can go really in depth, but I really just want to target like beginners. So guys have a higher like amount of testosterone. Girls have less testosterone. We're all created differently. Even some guys have more testosterone than other guys. Some guys will be more like skinny. Some other guys will be more stocky, just like naturally. So it all comes down to like your genetics. Like how much of something do you have? Like how much chemicals do you have in your body, right? So you go to like chemicals, hormones. You know, chemicals are such a broad statement that we're just gonna leave it at hormones to not confuse people, right? So we all have different levels. Some have higher testosterone than others. Some have, you know, if you're a female, you have some different hormones, and each one of y'all has different amounts of it, right? So that's why some chicks will have like, you know, like a mustache. Some chicks will be hairier on the arms. Some like I'm a really hairy dude. Like I'll grow this in like, I don't even know, like 3 days or something. Like, and so so I have a high amount of testosterone or something like that, right? And some guys are really tall, so they have a lot of growth hormone. I'm like 5'6", 5'7". Like I do not, right? As far as right now goes, I still got 5 years. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and continue with, you know, the first thing being, if you're training, your diet's on par, you're trying to lose weight, your strength training, you're not gonna look like a dude. You're gonna look like a chick, and you're gonna look like really, really pretty. Like I see some girls strength training in my gym, and like they're like not at all looking like guys. The ones that do, they're taking some stuff. They're adding more hormones, more testosterone, more guy hormones to their body, right? So there's a lot of stuff like that. Like you'll have some people that want to look more like a guy, want to look more than like a girl, and so they take those hormones to shape their body, right? So it's kind of sketchy stuff. You don't want to play with that because your body's going to start doing a bunch of weird things, and we'll leave it at that. So number 2, a lot of people, I caught up to a lot of people that were, you know, at a higher level than me, and that's not me ego and saying, oh, I have really good genetics. It's just I learned a lot, and not to sound like a cliche, you know, person on YouTube that says knowledge is key, but when it comes down to it, you know, they say abs are made in the kitchen. Well, pretty much your whole physique is made in the kitchen. Like, for example, you can be training hard, and you might lose like 30 pounds at first. And then you'll notice, wow, like I stopped. Like what am I doing wrong? You know, you'll start starving yourself. You'll lose another 10, but then you stop again. And what people need is a diet that manipulates their carbs, fats, and proteins. What I mean by that, is you need to steadily control the amount in grams or whatever units your country or whatever uses, as long as you're steadily increasing or decreasing depending on what your goal is. Right now we're gonna talk about decreasing your calories to lose weight. So your body has a natural, let's say, border right here. Let's call this like the caloric maintenance line, right? So to maintain weight, you want to keep your calories here. To increase in weight, why would I want to increase? Because if you increase, you're gonna build some muscle, right? You can build it here, but it's gonna take longer. If you're a little bit higher, hey, you're gonna have more energy. You might gain a little bit of fat, right? And well, now if you're way up here, you're gonna get fat because your body can't process all those calories, you know, unless you're not natural. Then you can probably process. You know, if you're on drugs, you can process more food, more whatever. But that's a different story for another time. If you're down here below that line, you're gonna lose weight. No matter what, you're gonna lose weight. Now, if you drop your calories too low, you're gonna burn out, right? You're gonna stop. losing weight. Now, if you steadily decrease it over time, let's say 1 month you're here, the next month you're here, and you just keep adjusting it, you know, you're gonna have longevity and you're gonna overall lose more weight. Now, we can go in depth. That's the very basics of it. We're gonna leave it at that. And so the third one, we're gonna start talking a little bit about the science. Macronutrients versus micronutrients, okay? Macronutrients, carbs, proteins, fats. They add up to equal your calories. Micronutrients are everything that make you healthy, like vitamins and stuff like that, right? So for macronutrients, that's gonna determine your growth or, you know, like whether you lose weight. So that's what you gotta manipulate. Just because someone's jacked or shredded doesn't mean they're healthy. The healthy part comes from the micro perspective. Now, obviously, if someone's overweight, they're not as healthy. You know, they might have some cardiovascular problems and stuff like that. So overall, good balance makes a healthy person. But a person that's like shredded to the bone, has veins popping and all that, could be like really low on fats and therefore their central nervous system's whacked out, and or if they're low on carbs, like they don't have enough salt, and it just gets really in depth. But we're gonna keep it at that. So in order to lose weight or gain weight, you have to manipulate your macronutrients. If you're not doing that, then no matter how long you stay in the gym, no matter how many sets you do, no matter what, you might gain strength, but you will not get the body that you want. You know what I mean? Or like, you won't see any progress. So I saw a lot of people that didn't manipulate it right, or a lot of people that were still out drinking and partying and doing that. I mean, like, you can drink and you can, you know, like smoke a cigarette. I hate saying you can, but technically you can't, you shouldn't, because if you're killing the amount of oxygen that you take in, your muscles feed on oxygen. Red blood cells play a big part in transporting oxygen, this and all that. And a lot of people didn't listen to me, and I kind of passed them up in the gym. But that's not me having an ego. That's just facts. Okay. So they might seem like tiny things, but they add up. And so if you want the best body, you have to make some sacrifices. You know, you can go the unnatural route, but that's going to bring a lot of problems, whether it be high cholesterol or just your balls ain't going to work right. Like, it's just not worth it, man. Those are the very, very basics. And I hope you like that. Trying to be really chill with these videos, mainly because my mic is like, it's super sensitive, so it'll pick up everything. So I have to be like really quiet and mellow. But I'm going to put some other stuff just describing on my journey, like what happened, and you know, throughout my weight loss process, and just even like the strength training process and like bulking up and trying to look a little bit more stocky and gaining strength and stuff like that. And we have a lot to talk about because it's a really big subject, and I love it. Some really good info, and it's free. So yeah. All right, that's it, bros. Yeah. Don't know how to end these videos. I could just go on for like, what the hell is going on? Okay.